Howdy folks, and I hope you're all shipshape and Bristol fashion wherever you are in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another unboxing and review, but no ordinary unboxing and review. It's something a little bit left field, something slightly different. Yes folks, to celebrate 50 years of one of the greatest movies ever made, Neca have decided to revamp the Ideal Toys game of Jaws, originally released in 1975 to coincide with the release of the movie. And Mr. Go Figure has been transported on a yellow barrel of nostalgia to when he was a 9-year-old and got the original game as a birthday present due to his love of all things Jaws and shark related. So, slightly different format to this review, folks. We will have a quick look at the box and how this whole game thing works, and we'll be spending most of our time though with Bruce, as he's the real star of the show, and maybe going out with a bit of a showcase if Mr. Go Figure can come up with some cunning plan on how to shoot Bruce. But before we dive into our portable monkey cage, I'd like to send an orca-sized shout out to everyone who supported the channel, and a massive thank you as well to everyone who sent me get well soon wishes. They are greatly appreciated. And please drop a like on this review, as it helps other people find the channel. And if you haven't already, be sure to mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the action figure, statue and collectible videos that we've got coming up. So, Jaws, 50 years old, God I'm old, and still one of the best monster movies ever made in my opinion. It defined the summer blockbuster. It made Steven Spielbergs a household name, and probably was one of the biggest influences on a 9-year-old Mr. Go Figure. It influenced my love of the movie itself, of sharks and of practical visual effects, and I always make sure to watch the movie at least twice a year, so that'll give you some idea of how many times I've seen this film. In fact, I've seen it so often, it's one of those films that Mr. Go Figure can actually quote the entire script from without any prompting. There's a few films like that, and yeah, much to the disappointment of Mrs. Go Figure when we try and watch the film. But that's enough of my Jaws reminiscing. Let's take a look at this box, and a big box it is too, but we'd expect it to be. It's got a shark in it. Let's get this this turntable out the way and have a look at the box. And the great thing about this box, straight away from the get-go, is that Neca have gone for that retro feel. What they've done is they've replicated the box that Ideal Toys used back in the day. There, officially licensed product. So what you've got on the front there is that now iconic picture of the Great White itself coming up, the Jaws logo on the top there. And yeah, just really nice to see Neca replicating that original packaging. They've done this before with things like the Big Chap, the Alien Big Chap, where they replicated the Kenner box of the time as well, and I just love it. It just plays into that whole nostalgia and retro thing for me. You've got a shot of the game itself being played at the bottom there, the Neca logo in the bottom right hand corner if the camera's catching that, and that's done in that Ideal style logo as well. Jaws 50th anniversary on the top right there. On the side of the box we've got a sort of stylized version of the shark coming up to the surface of the water, game of Jaws again. Around the right hand side, that's replicated as well. It just says game of Jaws, Jaws, Jaws on the top there, and on the bottom there you have got all the credits and warnings. Yeah, don't piss this figure off or it may be farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. So around the back we have a shot of the game again. It's a slightly bigger shot of that picture that's on the front there of somebody playing the game, and those people who've never played the game before, and not as old as I am, will quickly run through how it works. But if you played things like Buckaroo and stuff like that, you get the general idea. Pile all the stuff in his mouth, try and pull it out, and try not to be the one who gets the jaws snapping on him. So that is the box, and I am liking this box a lot. So without further ado, let's crack the seals open on this guy. It's a brand new piece, just come through the door today. But yeah, let's pop that box open, dive down onto the table and find out what this thing's all about. Before we take a look at Bruce himself, who's lurking in the background there, I just thought we'd take a quick look at the pieces that come with this game, because the I am so glad, I'm so happy that it's Neca that updated this original game. I think it's a marriage made in heaven, because those old enough to remember the old pieces of the game will recognize how simple they were. They were very, very basic. There were some similarities, but exceptionally basic. Actually, I'll stick a photo up at this point here so you can see how basic they actually were. They were done in blue and white plastic, and they were so simple. But it was 75 after all. But yeah, what else do you get with the game? Well, you get a set of instructions, but really you don't need these. It's very, very simple. There are some instructions on how to put the pectoral fins on, because it comes disassembled, but apart from that, it's simply shove all this stuff in his mouth, and then you take turns pulling it out one at a time with this piece, and whoever gets the jaws snapping on them loses. Simple as that. But yeah, you do get a set of instructions if you need them. But as I say, it's these pieces that I really like, and it's up to Neca's high standard. They're all sculpted plastic, but they've added some new bits, they've adapted the bits, there's more realism, the paint applications are so much better, and it puts a smile on my face, what Neca have done here. It puts joy in an old man's heart. You've got the boat hook itself, which they're all plastic, these pieces, but it's painted to look like wood, and it's got numerous sort of spikes on the end there with some weathering on it. If the camera's catching it, I'll get that up close. They've even weathered it, and the level of detail and paint applications here is excellent, considering the price point as well, because really this thing is a steal at the cost. So yeah, that's the boat hook. You get this scuba diving, this aqua lung, really nicely done, and the detailing is so spot on to the pair of aqua lungs that Richard Dreyfuss wore, that Hooper wore in the film, and that was strapped to the side of the Orca as well when he couldn't tie the right knot. But yeah, sculpted plastic, and the detailing is absolutely spot on. You can read this here, it says aqua lung, aluminium cylinder, paint applications are really nice, and yeah, just very, very well done, as are all the pieces. You get a tyre which says Neca on it, which I think is a great touch there, which is just really well done. You get this half of a sort of steering section from an old ship, which is really nice, with weathering on it as well. You get an old anchor, once again, that's rusted and painted really nicely and weathered, and there's some silver dry brushing on there, and it's just dragging this 75 game into 2025 kicking and screaming, and I think it's phenomenal. So yeah, that's the anchor. You get a set of beer cans. There's a 6-pack here with one missing, which has probably been drunk and crushed, and they've even detailed each of the cans here. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the type of beer it is, but it says lager beer on there, and just really nicely painted and sculpted. And everything's got a little hook on it somewhere, or a piece of cord, so you can get this boat hook to attach to it. There's a fish skeleton that was in the original as well, but this one's done even better there. What else? You get a set of bones, human bones, and a skull with some nice paint applications and weathering on them. The number plate, even down to the number plate that Chief Brody and Matt Hooper removed from the wannabe Jaws, and that's great that they've actually used the original, sourced the original numbers and design from the film itself. So yeah, that is screen accurate Sportsman's Paradise, Louisiana there. So excellent touch there from Neca. There's a boot, suitably weathered. There's a keg of whatever, probably alcoholic, knowing Robert Shaw. Alcoholic liquid in there possibly, with a green paint application and a stopper in it. Really nice. There's a camera, there's a walkie-talkie, there's a glove, which looks like one of Quint's gloves, which is a nice touch as well, and weathered. There's an old lantern, maritime style lantern going on, and there's even a revolver there with a piece of string, so you can hook that up as well. Great. I think that's fantastic that Neca have gone to that level of sculpt and paint application on the bits that you shove in Bruce. So let's drag out Bruce and take a closer look at him. Okay folks, so here is the star of the show. Yes, it's Steven Spielberg's lawyer. It's Bruce, and I couldn't resist putting him, or trying to get him into some kind of pose and display him dynamically. This stand obviously doesn't come with the game itself. This is the, as regulars to the channel will know, my go-to all-purpose stand. It's the Hot Toys stand that comes with their Thanos Endgame figure, and it pretty much works with just about anything. So yeah, I wanted to add a bit of depth, forgive the pun, to it, because really this stands up as a collectible figure on its own. I think it's incredible what Neca have done here. But we'll have a quick look around him. Let's stop him from spinning. And it's worth mentioning at this point as well, just, I've said it before with the accessories, but what Neca have done here, taking the original design of the shark, and I've got to say the original game itself was super stylized. It barely looked like a shark, to be honest with you. However, what Neca have just gone and blown it out of the water. I'll stick a picture actually of the original game and the shark itself. It is quite comical. I'll pop one in the corner here so you can have a look at that. But yeah, Neca have used all their skills in figure making and brought them to bear on this beauty. And let's get him off this stag. He is precariously balanced. We'll put that to one side for a moment. He is actually meant, when you're playing the game, to sit on his fins like this. He sits on the pectorals, which you slot in, and that's when you use obviously the mouth moves here, and you put the pieces in there and take them out. But you know, I'm going to say again, I think you could quite happily display this in your collection, just as in your Jaws collection, as a representation of Bruce. No problem. Yeah, I think it is that good in its sculpt and paint application. Yes, it could be slightly better, but you've got to take into account the limitations of the game, and also, once again, the price point that Neca have produced this piece at is just, it's pin money. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I mean, let's just have a look at the paint applications here. They are great. The sculpting, it's made out of a solid plastic. It's hollow, obviously, because you need to open that mouth up, but it's got a bit of weight to it, but it's not too hefty. But yeah, we'll start at the back and work our way up. Yeah, the sculpting to give that texture of the skin there, really nicely done. Even down to what looked like, and sometimes in the movie these were actually these were air bubbles that got caught under, or water that got caught underneath the outer material that they use for the skin has been captured there as well. But I mean, to me, I always like to think of it as the musculature underneath there. But it really nicely done. Paint applications are great. You've got damage on the tail section here with that nick missing, which is screen accurate. There's shading around the edges there. There's different washes on the top here to give it that dirty and old look, so he doesn't look brand spanking new. On the dorsal fins as well. On the pectoral fins, you've got that sort of highlighting around the edges as well, and that's continued on the dorsal fin at the back. You know how big this piece is. But how do you do that? How do you guess the size? Well, you will look from the dorsal to the tail, obviously. But I think this thing comes in at about 25 centimeters, something like that. Along those lines. So he's a big chap. Take up a lot of space in the display if you choose to display him on his own, not use him as a game. But the gills are really nicely done on the side there. Underneath, relatively simple, but you've got those sections on the back fins there as well. Obviously it says Neca there, 2025. Well, it actually says Neca 2026. Is it 2020? No, it says Neca 2025. I need to put my glasses on. But yeah, and I like this dirtying up as well. It looks really, really convincing. And on to the all-important snout. Now, I think they've done a cracking job here of of capturing Bruce. And obviously, because of the nature of the model that they used, of the creature that they created, it had to have opening mouth and so on, which meant that it looked slightly different to your average great white, because you had to have these sections at the side here that would open, especially in the shots, and you can see that in particular in the shots where it crashes through the side of the orca when it's half submerged. And it comes through the window. You really do get to see these bits, but that to me adds to the authenticity. There's dinks and scratches. There's blood effect around the mouth there and on the teeth, which are really, really nicely done. Those eyes are black and glassy, like a doe's eyes. Sorry, couldn't resist that one. Mouth itself is hinged, obviously, so you can play the game, but on the inside you've got a rocker mechanism on that tongue there, which is really nicely painted with a lot of reds and pinks to give it that blood-like look. And yeah, that rock is the thing that will activate the jaws when you're playing the game, if you decide to use it as such. But I think Neca have done a great job here. And in the 50th year of celebrating its 50th anniversary, I think it was a great idea. Hats off to whoever sat in a meeting over at Neca and went, I know what we'll do. Yeah, we'll take that old 75 ideal game and we'll put our spin on it. And I think they've done a great job here. I'm loving this piece. Only thing bothering me now is how the hell am I going to do a showcase of this? I think it's going to be damn near impossible. I might just go out with one shot of him rotating on that base so we can get a look at the details, because really it is not going to be the easiest thing in the world to showcase this. So yeah, we'll go out with that shot. I suppose all it remains for me to say now is I'm off now to play recapture my childhood and play this game with Mrs. Go-Figure, who I don't think has ever played it. Oh no, she has. I tell a lie, she has. She mentioned the other night she has actually played this. But yeah, I think cracking piece from Neca, amazing work here, a great bit of fun, but a great addition to any Jaws collection as well. So there you have it, folks. That is Neca's take on the Ideal Toys 1975 Jaws the game. What are your thoughts on this piece? Did you have the original game? Do you still have the original game? Are you going to be picking this piece up? What are your thoughts on Jaws? What are your thoughts on the 50th anniversary? What are your thoughts on anything Jaws related or action figure related? Nothing is off menu, so please drop a comment in the comment section below. I would be fascinated to hear your take on this particular piece. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, we've got a boatload more 6-scale action figures coming in. We've got stuff from Hot Toys, from Present Toys, from InArt, from Caustic Plastic, Susu Toys, Iconic Studios, Exo6, the list goes on. We've got more collectibles like this. I'm hoping that there's going to be a couple more Jaws pieces coming in before the end of July, but we're sat on those at the moment waiting for those, because there's some fantastic Jaws bits and pieces coming out to celebrate the 50th anniversary. We've got quarter scale statues, we've got showcases, we've got retro reviews, and we've got more stuff like this, stuff that you can't really put in a bracket. So as I mentioned at the top there, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the good stuff. And I suppose all that remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching from myself, from Bruce and Jaws the Game, Neca's take on Jaws the Game. As always, take care of yourselves, and until next time on the channel, happy collecting.